The two most successful teams in World Rugby Under-20 Championship history will contest the 2017 final. England searching for their fourth. New Zealand have claimed the glory on 5 occasions. There is Zach Mercer leading out the English team. Total concentration as they walk into this arena, and there is the big frame of Alex Fiedel from New Zealand to come off the bench. Luke Jacobson, who's had a tremendous tournament, makes his way to where the flags are, and then we await the 2 national anthems. God Save the Queen, God Defend New Zealand, and then the cultural challenge from the New Zealanders, the Māori haka.
Inglis's hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the anthem of England. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of New Zealand.
And now the traditional Māori haka, kamate, kamate. So the challenge has been laid down from the New Zealanders, and great opportunity to bring in an expert comments. Former England Sevens captain Rob Vickerman. And Rob, looking forward to this encounter.
Well, never failed to get so inspired and equally frightened by seeing that cultural challenge, but it's going to be some task for this England team for sure. One thing is identifying a bit of a weakness in this All Blacks team. It's another thing trying to be good enough to exploit it. Their forwards have to really step up. The driving maul is the only Achilles heel of this Baby Blacks team, and fully expect to see the big front five to try and take as much advantage of that as possible. They've got some big players, Mercer, Malins to name but two, and in between they've got an out-and-out finisher on the wing. Look forward to see how they're going to go, but it's going to be some challenge up against this Baby Blacks team. They have a power game unlike any other in this tournament. The backs who have absolutely everything you need, size, skill, and they've got combinations to die for. Their centre pairing have been standout performers throughout this whole tournament, led beautifully by Nari, and I'm really looking forward to see how Perafita is going to go on the back of him playing against the Lions just last week.
New Zealanders,
just under 20.
These two teams rather unbeaten, but New Zealand have never lost to England in a final on 4 occasions. They have beaten them as well as in the semi-final. And Nick Berry, who is celebrating his wedding anniversary today. Congratulations, Nick. He will take charge of this match. The man from Australia. We're underway for the final of 2017 at the World Championships here in Georgia. First touch for Fainga'anuku. Inari is the halfback, and they get it out to where Mikale Tu'u just charges forward to improve the angle. The high kick now. Mercer will take this. Plenty of time for Zach Mercer. First chance for him to wind up as well. Draws in 3 defenders. Slow ball for Harry Randall. Finally he gets it, and Nadi comes in and puts pressure on. Ebi Toy looks to try and tidy up as the Harlequins winger. Now England through Adams Howe. They go left and they come back right. Nice little kick along the ground from Umaga. Just threading it through the defence, and the first line out of the match.
The first real sight there of Umaga, obviously a popular name in world rugby. Not played a huge amount of rugby, just 90 minutes in this tournament so far, so these little touches mean a lot. Zach Mercer doing what he does. Again, another name will be quite familiar to a lot of New Zealanders, with his dad Gary, but an ex-Kiwi Rugby League player, so expect to see his bullocking runs coming throughout.
A dummy, and then they throw Slade up in the air, and there is Perafita with his first touch of the ball at the under-20s here. Looks like it's come backwards, says the ref. They go out the same way to the left. Enor to Jordan. Now out to Clark, Caleb Clark. First real chance for Clark. That pass is drifted forward. And first up tackles need to be made, in particular on this man on screen.
I can't wait to see these back three fly for New Zealand. I mean, it's a sizable task to try and stop the centre pairing, let alone the 105-kilogram wingers. Will Jordan's sole job today is create space for the likes of Clark and Fainga'anuku, and if he does so, it's going to be a long afternoon for the backs of this England team.
First scrum of the game, and it's going to be a good contest because England certainly were challenged in the semi-final against South Africa. They would have no doubt regrouped.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Randall with the feed. Big scrum comes in from New Zealand. Mercer looks to get it out, and he does just that. Randall to Umaga. Perofeta tries to hold him up. Does well to fight to the ground. Then the high kick from the halfback. Pressure coming in on Clark, takes the ball above his head. Then looks up and thinks he can find some space, and he's got around the outside of Atkins. Clark on another run, now the ball on the inside. Walker Leawede. Well, New Zealand go on the attack. Perofeta looked out and he saw a couple of the concrete mixers, decided to go into contact himself. It's cleared again, and Nadi comes back down the left. Walker Leawede to Aumua. That ball's gone forward. And that's a dangerous sign as Caleb Clark getting some space.
Yeah, twice now we've seen Caleb Clark featuring round the outside. It's an absolute opportunity for a one-on-one, and he is rinsed Darren Atkins there. Got on the outside of him, mentioned his 105 kilograms, belying that weight by just flying around the outside. And this is another thing that makes the All Blacks so dangerous in all levels of rugby, but specifically the Baby Blacks. Big front five players that have soft hands. It is a wonderful thing to behold.
Caleb Clark, 6 tries in the tournament, 18 years old, was at school in Auckland last year. Mount Albert Grammar, a representative of the New Zealand secondary schools. And of course his father, Ronnie Clark, wore the All Black jersey on a number of occasions. A tight head, you don't see that too often at this level. And Nadi goes down that side and gives it to Clark again. Atkins does well on this occasion. And they look like they've stolen it as well. New Zealand get it back. Slade carries the ball, they gets the support, so they're playing one off the ruck here using their big forwards and Slade, and on that occasion it's Walker Leawede.
Ball, play at 9.
Now Aumua. 4 phases, it's slow ball though. Inadi take it back to the scrum. It was the tight head which put New Zealand in this position. Now Jacobson leaves it there for Walker Leawede to go 3 metres short. Patient build up this from the New Zealanders, now out to Lindenmuir.
Release tackle. Backwards, play on.
Here goes Papali'i, diving like Superman over the top. Here's the first try in the final.
Yes,
and Dalton Papali'i didn't need a cape.
Go home. I just want to check the knock on in the lead up to the try being scored, so try yes or no, please.
Okay, I'll have a look.
Well, Nick Berry just making sure of what looked like a perfectly fine try. I want to make sure that such is the context of this game that Papali'i is so confident walking back like this, but it was the knock-on that he was looking for.
Yes, we are.
Looking for a little bit earlier than that. Once again, lovely to see Papali'i flying over the breakdown. But this next shot's going to be the all-important one.
His third try, if awarded, Dalton Papali'i, another standout player at school level. Plays at the Pakuranga Club in Auckland Club Rugby.
Nick, just hold, we're just looking for the
and has been
place,
earmarked
please.
Thank you.
for greater honours. Just have a look at this. Does the ball get knocked on prior to Papali'i going over the top of the ruck? This one here. That's the question. No problem with the finish.
No, I think that's gone forward.
He's knocked it on.
Such a shame. You can almost hear the music of Papali'i diving over, but that's definitely a knock on there. Nick Berry calling it, a little bit concerned about it, and rightly so. But it's always worth another look. There he goes.
Nick, I have a decision.
Yes.
Nick, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, the player left the ball behind. There was no knock on, so you may award the try.
Thank you.
First try to New Zealand. So no knock on. They looked at it and Dalton Papali'i gets New Zealand's account opened after 5 minutes.
Well, if anything else there, Willie, we're verifying that we are not the television match officials. Both thought that went forward, but whistle's gone, and that's it. It's on the scoreboard. Great start from a great player. First real insight there into this power game that the Baby Blacks have. We talk a lot about it, but every single player wins a collision.
This is Stephen Perofeta. What a week he has had. He was in Auckland 10 days ago where he played against the British and Irish Lions for the Blues Super Rugby team, and now he's here in Georgia looking to try and convert the try. Just keeps it to the right.
Good pressure coming in for Malins. And speaking about pressure, it's all from the turnover at the scrum. Time and time said that to beat this Baby Blacks team, you've got to be absolutely on every single mantle with a set piece, lineouts and scrums. This didn't quite work for England against South Africa, and it's continued to do so in this game.
Whanganuku again takes the kick off, runs towards where the forwards are and gets outside his 22. And Nadi just slows things down. Amua is another one that they'll use to cart the ball forward. Improves the angle, takes it towards the midfield, and now Perofeta looks for some territory down to where Mercer is. Repeat of what we saw in the kickoff. Mercer to the line. Comes into Slade. Randall. Nice kick that. Lovely grubber. And that's real class from Mullins, just looking up and knowing that he can grubber it through and ask some questions of the New Zealand lineout.
Yeah, asking questions, as we've seen already in this game, how important the set piece is. But sadly, statistics not really backing up this England decision to go for set piece. They had a 75% line out against South Africa last game and an 88% scrum in the days where 100% is normally the prerequisite. That's not really good enough.
Again, it's Slade that they find, and Nadi Perofeta throws the dummy on this occasion and then goes through. Perofeta's got support on the left-hand side. Mikali Tu is there, draws in the last defender. He's gone 70 metres and now he's lost the ball forward. Well, showing just a little bit of why the Blues are interested in this man, Stephen Perofeta, making something out of nothing.
And you just can't not smile watching that. The guy must be brimming with confidence to play against the British and Irish Lions for the Blues, to be in such esteemed company, the likes of Sonny Bill Williams alongside him, Malawa and Pulu inside him previously. He is continuing that form. Thought he could have used the supporting player on the inside there. There'd been a lovely pass inside to Mikal Tu. Decided to take on with a left foot step. Sadly got it knocked out of his hand, but if that's anything to go by, this is going to be some 80 minutes for this man.
Crouch!
Wrong option at the end there. He had players to the left, and maybe that's just combinations. He's just arrived in camp 5 days ago. That ball should have gone to the left. And another big scrum from New Zealand. Mercer, though, gets the ball and Papali'i at the same time.
Miss! Get behind wide. Full arm.
Randall will clear it from inside his 22. Nice high kick from Randall, who was involved in the under-20 competition in Manchester last year. Here's Will Jordan, leads the clean breaks statistics here in 2017 with 11. It's out to Rakete Stones. In fact, that's Lindemuth wearing jersey number 1, and now the power game again through Walker Leawete. Inside the 22 they go.
Get out wide.
It's slow ball. Jack Ney making a nuisance of himself, but now out to Perofeta, some dummy runners and some decoy runners. Here goes Clark. Caleb Clark shrugs off the first and second. They go the same way. Amur is there. Runs into Umaga. Now they're 3 short. New Zealand hands getting put up. Rakete Stones goes over. You've got to make your tackles against the Baby Blacks or they'll punish you. And there's the second try to the concrete mixers.
Well, just like we witnessed plenty against the French in their last game, if you let them play, you will most certainly pay. One-on-one, they are simply unstoppable. You miss your tackles, you're going to get nowhere. Counted 3 or 4 in that phase of play alone. And it's just relentless wave after wave, half tackles, missed tackles, passive tackles, whatever they may well be, you cannot concede them against this Baby Blacks team. Just all too easy. One-out runners, picking off the inside defence. It's just breathtaking to witness. Slightly concerning from an English point of view, but this Baby Blacks team almost unstoppable.
They will be celebrating at the Napier Pirates Club in the central part of New Zealand, where he plays as club rugby. Second try here in 2017, and that's better from Perifetta. New Zealand lead 12-0. It's better than a point a minute. And he just ran at the angle, didn't he? Ran at a weak shoulder, stepped, and then he was through.
It's just one part of this power game. It's overall performance. But picking off the weak defenders because they're running onto the ball on motion. It's just brilliant to see.
Beautiful take. Here Toy gets up and steals the ball. England get a great attacking opportunity. Good field position. That's the 22 for New Zealand. You can see Randall gets it one clear out as Adams Hale. Into the midfield they go. All started from the kickoff and the class of the left winger from England. Mercer goes into the contact. They bounce back the left-hand side. Not a great pass there from Mellons, and the referee says that the Baby Blacks were never onside, too early. And first chance for England to get some points.
And they need moments like this, the English team. Players contribute in different ways. Ibitoy there, what a leap off the kickoff. You're feeling a little bit shell-shocked. You want your key players to get up there and do something, and he's done exactly that. Out jumping the big men inside him. Wakaliawara got nowhere near Ibitoy. He's about 8 inches taller, but only one winner in the air there.
5 tries in the tournament. Of course, England, the winners in 13, 14, and last year looking to go back-to-back. Second top point scorer of the competition as Max Mullins, 43 becomes 43. He's missed it. Well, you don't see that too often.
Now, one of the players of the tournament for this England team, very much not like Max Malins to miss that. He shakes his head, and rightly so. You need every single point you can get against this Baby Blacks team, and that is most definitely a missed opportunity.
13 conversions. He's made over 40 tackles in this tournament, and there he's just pushed it out to the left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joe Mullis can play.
Hold, 10, time's not on.
He made 38 tackles too, so I'll be hoping that they can keep their hooker on the field. He doesn't look too comfortable on that ankle. Well, they've strapped it up. And there's the running meters from this New Zealand side. Perifetta, the kick that's just going to get over the halfway mark. And England from inside their own half through Ben Earl. Slips as he comes into the contact.
Leave now.
Think about the counter ruck, New Zealand, but they opt better just to stay back. And Caulfield, such a big man, gets his hands free, and the ball comes back to Randall. Enor is there to make the tackle.
Quiet.
Earl gets the ball, and the New Zealanders asked the question if it was forward. Again, the high up and under to test Clark. Jordan comes forward, takes it brilliantly. Will Jordan breaks through. Players on the inside. Here's the captain. Jacobson, what a run. Clark is there. They go on the attack again, and Nadi gets it out to Walker Liawere. Rakete Stones gets there quickly, and Nadi is there out to the right. They come, the kick over the top. Ledger is there. Ledger, if he had caught it, it was a try. And they are playing with confidence as this young New Zealand side. The kick from Perifetta was perfect.
Well, it's an aerial game at the moment. This man shortlisted as player of the tournament, and rightly so, Will Jordan, not just executing the catch, but then getting the turnover going. Broken field play, again, is another thing they're very strong at, this Baby Blacks team. Just showing his class there, Perifetta, picking out Ledger, staying out wide, and he'll be disappointed with that because he was walking in out wide.
Auburn Ledger out of the county's Manukau region in New Zealand. in the greater Auckland, South Auckland area. Now that it caught the eye of the New Zealand secondary school coaches a number of years ago. Early pressure from the New Zealanders gives England a chance to clear from inside their own 22.
Just looking at body language there, this English team looking around at each other, almost asking questions. How do we stop this? It's unrelenting from the Baby Blacks, coming from all angles. One thing you've got to do is execute your set piece and make touch.
Well, it was a free kick, so they would have given possession back. They've opted to go for field position, and Jordan again looks to try and attack the line. Inati goes in, out to the right they come. Walker Leo where there is first, cab off the rack. Runs into Knight and keeps pumping the legs. Mikele Tu'u. Into the midfield they go. New Zealanders staying strong and pumping the legs now. Perefeta wants it, firing Anuku. Was used as a decoy, but no one bought it. Ball has gone forward illegally.
13 wide.
And Will Butler is penalised.
Thank you.
And the New Zealanders are going to have a shot at the posts.
And these 3 pointers really do start becoming significant, puts them out of the two score margin. But here's the offence.
You've always had, your boys are always going to go.
You see there clearly, if you're in that part of the ruck, can't be playing it, kicking it with your hands or your feet, whatever it may well be. Referee, they're on point, and an ex scrum half, so he's well versed with that.
%50 off the tee for Perefeta, around 39 metres for this kick, and you get a good view of it there. He's just shanked it. He has just kicked it well and truly to the right. And they have got other options. Will Jordan is capable of kicking, as is Auburn Ledger, but in the early stages of this game, New Zealand leading 12-0 after 16 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit of a concern about his kicking. Second one, he's not contacted well there. Psychologically, that's going to play a bit of effect on him.
Again, it's kicked down to where Jordan fields it. Mikele Tu'u, the big number 8 for New Zealand, winds up and breaks through with the first tackle. Counter ruck comes in. New Zealanders are there quickly, and Nadi with a pass out to Clark. Flirting with the touchline, and now the counter ruck comes in from England. It's a good one, and they'll get the rewards for it as well.
Well, Harry Randall's a lucky young man there. He definitely tried to take the quick one and knocked it on, and then play dumb, as every single 9 will do.
Great counter ruck from the English team. They know the threat that Clark is, and they just got there. They kept their body weight and drove past the ball.
Yep, it's a real dynamic back row this England team have got, and they need to make sure they're getting amongst it. The tackle made straight back over it. Ben Earl, as ever, fighting his way. You try and argue all you want on the floor there, but it's clear penalty. Good play from England back row.
Good work from Atkins as well to get involved. The right winger up high goes Lamb and wins the ball.
Release now, tacklers! Foot to ground!
England go one wide through Mercer and then look to come back the right-hand side. Running ball from Randall to Atkins. Atkins loops around. Good run from the right winger. Darren Atkins inside the 22. England on the attack. Mercer to the line. The welcoming committee is there to meet him. On this occasion, it's Knight, Kieran Knight. That's the 22 line you can see. Again, England looking to work the left-hand side. 5 phases they've gone. New Zealand defence just holding their line. No one racing up, no real threat with the line speed. That's a beautiful ball to Lamb. Lamb's in! Oh, special pass from Naylands. 19 minutes, but it was worth the wait, and Ben Earl couldn't believe his luck. Yes, apologies, thought it was Lamb, but Ben Earl hit the ball, and he was never going to be stopped 20 out.
He wasn't, but Max Malin's take a bow. You see Aaron Farrell, George Ford do it time and time again. The England 10, there's under 20s team, equally adept the subtle dummy pump. He throws it once, throws it twice, that's enough to buy the space. Lovely line from Earl, all he's done is run straight, but the time and space bought by the deception was beautiful from the England fly half.
Well, he turned one of the forwards for New Zealand inside. Isaiah Walker-Leawede was looking inside, left the gap. And Ben Earl said, I'll help myself to 5 points. Second Junior World Championship for Max Mullins. That's better. His tally goes to 45 for the tournaments. And more importantly, England closed the deficit to 5.
Yeah, all about the back row, not just the turnovers, but the line breaks as well. Ploughing through. You stick around Malins, you've got a chance. He's a good footballer. This England team needed that score. It was getting an absolute landslide, whilst it only looks like it's 12 points on the board. The psychological battle against this Baby Blacks team, you cannot let them get too far ahead.
Mercer will take the restart into his half-back Randall. That's a nice exit play after you've scored points to just put the ball in touch.
Yeah, I think that needs to be 20 metres further on, Willie. I think that situation there, they're passing it back inside to a 9. Not a line kicker, used to the box kicks, but when it's an open kick like that, you either kick long and chase, or you get it out into touch nearer the halfway line. It's too easy ball for this very powerful backline about to unleash for the Baby Blacks.
Asafo Almua finds his target. They bring Clark off the left wing. He goes through 2 defenders and places the ball in. Nadi to Mikele too. They've got numbers here. New Zealand, that looks like it's been lost forward, and it has. So the call coming from the assistant referee, ball control from some of the men in black is something I'm sure their coach Craig Philpott will be addressing at half-time.
Talk about the set piece from the New Zealand team.
Wait till the ball.
They use their big wingers so well off the base of the line out. First carry, Clark gets well and truly over the gain line, sucks in 3 defenders, and it becomes very easy to play round the corner rugby. It's not complicated, it's simple. And luckily the ball was knocked on because there were 3 players outside as well.
Crouch! Fine! Set!
That's a better scrum from England. Mercer tried to get the ball out, now it's gone forward. Finally he gets his hands on the ball, but he's lost it forward. It's going to be a long afternoon if you can't get your set piece right.
Yes. From the base of the scrum, you've got to be so accurate. He's got hands like shovels, Mercer. Should be fine at picking it out. Looks a little look, sees where the 9 is by that time. Knees and feet too much involved, and he knocks it on. Indifferent start from Zach Mercer so far, known for his carrying. I've noted 3 tackles he's missed. It's on his watch list. Eddie Jones, already mentioned, needs to up his work rate in defence. That's something he's working on.
Crouch! Fine!
New Zealand stack
Set!
the backs out to the left. They've got Jordan and Fainga'anuku out to the right. Mikele too, and it's out to the right. They come, Minardi with some running ball, wide pass. Fainga'anuku, one to beat, he's lost it. Well, they've left points on the field, and Fainga'anuku should have scored that.
And it's on this right-hand side again. A little bit of a conversation with the referees.
Okay, line out, boys. Line out it is.
Chose the line out, but that was Fainga'anuku at his best, flying around, but Ibitoy finds himself in absolute no man's land, goes for the intercept, ball goes past him, Fainga'anuku, big right foot step, and if it weren't for Randall trying to give him a high five, there would have been very little chance of stopping him going over for another score. Just all too easy for this All Blacks team.
Well, they've changed their decision from the line out to the scrum after consultation, but England still under pressure at this area of the game, 5 metres from their line.
Crouch!
24 gone.
Fine!
The only benefit here, you can bring in the wing and try and get Ibitoy to get a few yards, but it's a difficult clearance set.
Now the heat comes on from New Zealand. Mercer Thought about trying to put his hands in there, but the referee said that the front row has just come up and across.
Smart play from the English at the scrum. They know it's an area that they're going to try and exploit. Moving around a little bit, take a little bit of a hit, and rightly so, but referee identifying it wasn't square, of which he said needs to be, and penalises New Zealand as a result.
Line out works well. Randall thought about throwing the pass, but the big forwards had come through, and now they're going to try and hold him up. Ball is the call. New Zealand will get the turnover here if it doesn't come back. Well, he gets up. Harry Randall asking where his forwards were. Very little he could do from that situation.
Clever defence from the New Zealand team. You see the back there, just trying to shoot through. As soon as Harry Randall saw Sam Slade in his passing line, couldn't throw it, and as a result, they just hold him up. He's about 70 kilograms, not the biggest. So relatively easy for these huge baby blacks forwards.
Crouch! 5! Set! 2, 3, 4.
Solid scrum from the New Zealanders. Perafeta at first receiver. Whainga Nuku ran a dummy line, and Perafeta quickly gets over the advantage line. Now the forwards join in. Ledger is one wider. Inari, the halfback, lovely ball to Jordan. Will Jordan, basketball style, to Awamua. Awamua's in! Third try for the Baby Blacks. And we saw some Harlem Globetrotters in the semi-finals, and Will Jordan's showing us some more.
He's continued to impress Amua. What a wonderful player, but it all comes from the fact the England players are not going around the corner. It sounds a simple fact, but if you've got your winger and fullback in the line and two extra players, all too easy to pick off. Jordan there takes an outside line. Umanga not able to try and shut down the covering defence. All comes from the winning of collisions. They play such a simple game, the Baby Blacks, but unless you match this power, it's a man test. And at the moment, they're walking away with it.
Tom Parton had no part to play in that. You're not going to stop 105k wrecking ball. St. Pat's Silverstream is where he was educated. Plays at the Avalon Club in Wellington. His third try, New Zealand's third, and they extend their lead to 10. Perafeta, 33% accuracy in the match. This is better from Perafeta. He's made the adjustments now. 19-7, 12 to play in the first half.
Just to put a little bit more on it, you've got to watch the inside defenders here. The front rows, they hold the blind side. The second rows have got to keep going around that corner. If you go around that corner, you match their attack. Otherwise, you're going to lose that battle all day.
This time, the kickoff is taken by Walker Leawede. There to make the tackle was Dino Lamb. Mikale Tu'u. Love the way that their ball runners are so much wider. The pass from Inari has also been a real feature as New Zealand look for territory down to Parton. The London Irish fullback looks to return it with some interest. Plenty of time here for Jordan. Will Jordan, the most clean breaks in the competition, and another one. And then the offload, Amora again. New Zealand with the offload, Papa Lee. Not how it gets up, goes 4 short. You can't kick and not tackle against this side, otherwise they'll punish you. Walker Leawede gets their 4th. Too much class. And if you're gonna kick to Will Jordan, you better make sure your defensive line is set.
Well, this gift just keeps on giving. Walker Leawede doing the easy bit, dotting over from a few yards away, but it all goes back to Will Jordan. As with a lot of these teams, the family come out and support them. With his mum last night saying he was meant to be at an exam this morning, but it's just as well that he isn't, because he is setting this pitch alight. with his line breaks from the back. Wonderful support as ever. You get that from every single loose forward in New Zealand rugby. And the Walker will give him a little bit of disservice there. He still had to run over with 3 people on his back.
Mentioned in the intro that the back 3 for New Zealand of Jordan, Clark and Whainga Nuku had scored 14 of their 30 tries. And Will Jordan, the top clean break attacker in this competition, and he just looks up, he's just got wonderful acceleration, he just sees so much in front of him.
What I like, he just backs himself. He knows that if he's going to take people on, he'll have support there. They know that as well. I just saw there a flailing tackle, Joe Mullis on Papa Aliti there. Might well be his last action, and as he's still sprawled out on the pitch, but once again all too easy. Umanga, he's wearing 12 on his back. There'll be a lot of people around the world expecting an Umanga with a 12 on the back to defend better than that. And look at the smiles on faces. That's what you get, out and out enjoyment from this Baby Blacks team.
Educated in Gisborne and now is in the capital of New Zealand playing for the Porneki club. Isaiah Walker-Leawede, and he has just got better and better, like a good wine throughout the tournament. Slow start, he's played most of the tournament as well. They've wanted to give him game time, and with regular game time you start to get the results. As there is the brains trust for the New Zealanders. Craig Philpott, the head coach, along with Willie Rickards, Corey Brown and Neil Sorensen, the man in the back there with the glasses, and they'll be looking on smiling. That's a much more comfortable scoreline, considering they've also possibly blotched about 2 or 3 other scoring opportunities, Rob.
That's great, isn't it? You've got a high performance coaching team there with a team that are high performing. It's when it makes it look really easy, you know the coaches have done a good job. I mean, they're blessed, they've got some wonderfully gifted players, but they play with such intelligent structure. Their skill set is by far the best. And whilst it's never great to see any English player on the floor, they are chasing shadows, and that's the reality, that you always struggle to try and stop a team that are coming onto the ball, that have such skill set and threats all across the park.
So what do England need to do? How do they get back into this match? Because you talked about the tsunami and watching the waves and waves of attack. What do they need to do?
Well, it comes from winning this collision. Every single clip we're about to see will come through a loss of a battle. When it's a one-on-one tackle, you have an option. You can stop that person moving forward, such as there, or you can concede yards. If you concede yards, it becomes very difficult for other players to react to that. Every single clip here is just all too easy. If it's not one player getting beaten, it's 2. I mean, these are double man tackles. Almada had no right to score that. He should have been smashed backwards, but this team, I think, is one of the best under-20s teams I've ever seen play.
The disappointment from 2016, where they were knocked out in pool play. I know, talking to many of the players and also their parents, they have spent the last 12 months thinking about this. They got together in camp in November, and since November it's all about getting here, getting to the final firstly, and then expressing themselves. And that's been a pleasing aspect for me, is that they haven't changed their game plan, they haven't held anything back in the qualifying stages, and even in the semi-final, wanting to play the attractive style of running rugby. And the very educated crowd here in Georgia certainly enjoying it.
And they can't not. All this crowd want to see is a battle of a bit of set piece and also running rugby, and they've got that in abundance. This Baby Blacks team, they come at you from all angles. It's like a guerrilla attack. It's just impossible to stop it when it's this good.
Well, we thought that the impact of Tian Falcon, who was the top point scorer at the competition, and obviously failed his concussion test in that semi-final, has meant that they needed to make a change. Perifeta has come in, but it's just their ability, in particular the guys with the small numbers on their backs, to do the right thing, to make the right decision.
Yeah, and execute the skill. That's the thing. If you've got a framework of playing attractive rugby, second phase, out the back, this type of thing that you're seeing around the world, it's all down to the fact you need big forwards who can not only carry and win that battle, but also distribute. When you get those little moments, it becomes such a great thing to watch, isn't it? And that's the reality, that this England team, they're looking dumbfounded. They're looking like they've not got answers to these questions. And if that's the case against the Baby Blacks team, it'll be a long day.
They did have a special moment, and this is what they need to do a lot more of, is get Malins with ball in hand, some front foot ball, because he can challenge the line. Beautiful finish from Ben Earl. There haven't been too many highlights in the opening 30 minutes, though, for the men in the white shirts.
Yeah, he did well. Any fly half that gets opposite big second rowers, they know they're going to try and exploit that space a little bit. And with this man, Ben Earl, going hard, that's what you want to see.
And there is Tian Falcon. You can see him in the centre of your screen, the top point scorer, 2017. He's looked up and so failed the concussion test, as we say, but has stayed on with the team. And there is the replacement, Stephen Perifetta. What have you made of his first 29 minutes of the World Rugby Under-20 Championships for 2017?
He's just got that thing that most Kiwi tens possess. It's a little bit of balance, isn't it? Creativity. Around the world seems to be led by Kiwi fly halves. Obviously in the UK, a lot of these English players will be well versed with the likes of Jimmy Gopperth, Nick Evans. It's almost the best thing that's happened to World Rugby is the fact that Dan Carter's been playing for so long, so the rest of the world can get to see how talented these tens are. They grow up with the ball in their hand, don't they? They're so versed with attacking rugby. Their skill sets are the best in the world, and rightly so. They're putting some pretty good combinations together.
He's beaten 4 defenders. He's run for 71 metres. As Stephen Perifetta, 3 of those defenders he beat, I think was the first time that he challenged and took the ball to the line where he made that wonderful break. That was a real opportunity. And this is what New Zealanders wouldn't have wanted, because they had momentum, they were on a roll, and this delay means that they then need to restart again.
I'm thinking back to the French game now, so for people who didn't see it, 29-0 was the score at one point, and the French suddenly had a resurgence. They came back into it. It was through set piece, which at this moment in time this England team have not got, and certainly losing Joe Mullis, the hooker, is not going to help that. First and foremost, we hope is okay and well, but ultimately their set piece are going to also be affected by losing their hooker just 30 minutes into the game. So potentially looking down the barrel of this England team, they're going to have to make sure they come back firing. One thing the French team did do was start playing. They may well not win this game now, but they've got to make sure they give a good account of themselves.
Still plenty of time to play as Henry Walker comes on in jersey 16. Over 500 graduates have come through the under-20 competition in the last 10 years. 36 from England, 34 out of New Zealand. And Perifetta adds the extras, 26-7, 10 to play. Back underway, it's Slade that goes high, but Ibi Toy actually tapped it back and it falls right into the hands of New Zealand hooker Almua. Here is Mikele Tu, and they're using him a little bit wider. Out now, Ledger gets the ball, throws the dummy. Auburn Ledger, he's isolated, needs some help there. Butler's done well to get in, and Butler should get the reward.
Good centre play there. Often you find the centres as secondary back row, as they get an opportunity in the midfield to try and turn the ball over, they will do so. And Will Butler, they've got a rare consistency in the midfield. That's seen no less than 8 combinations in this tournament. So staggering to think how many changes the England midfield have had, but Butler really did well.
And what about the dummy from Auburn Ledger? I fell for it. It wasn't there.
They expect it to be coming, Willie. He's kicks the ball a lot. He's got a lovely left foot. You expect that midfield, you commit to it. He's had no less than 12 kicks so far.
It's been a good part of the game for England as well. New Zealand haven't defended the line-out drives from either side so far, and I'm sure that they've discussed this. It goes to the hands of Walker, who threw the ball in. Walker now marching forward. Slade is fine, says the ref, so he breaks away.
Off the black, off it.
3 short. Randall gets it 1 wide to where Nay carries it forward. Now they come back to the right, running ball. New Zealand just hold their line, make the tackle, and that's on Lamb. Randall clears it. Unfortunately, it's A little bit of a breakdown in communication between a few of the forwards that were standing there, and New Zealand will get the scrum.
And Malin's having a chat there, but we'll ask a few questions back to him. You need that composure, you need to be able to get your skill set high. Once again, static attackers from the England team. If you're running into the All Blacks in any game, statically, you're going to get absolutely whacked.
The mindset from New Zealand in that situation seems to be, you run at the hole, I'll give you the ball. Whereas the English players there were just waiting for the ball first. That seems to be a thing too. New Zealand mindset is the runners will run at the gap, and it's the halfback's job to find, for him to find them, not the other way around.
Yeah, you've got to back yourself with a little bit of pace. Ultimately, if you're stood still, there is no gap because you're not moving. But you're exactly right. When you play off Anari, because he's got such a diverse style of pass as well as being a threat himself with the ball, it puts you on your heels straight away. And as a defence, you can't then have an aggressive hit, and that's the main difference.
Well, don't be surprised if New Zealand don't do the traditional kick out from here.
Fine.
They've split the back line. Ledger is out to the left. Of course, he's got the left boot. Perofeta out to the right with his right boot, and the scrum is solid.
Hold.
It's how they'll use it, and Nadi gets it to Perofeta. He looks for some territory. The bounce is kind for the New Zealanders. Tom Parton gets back and uses his left boot to try and return it. Not much of an angle, but that's a lovely kick from the fullback.
Yeah, Perofeta exploiting the fact that they put Ledger on the left-hand side, which meant the fullback had to cover the full pitch, and Parton there showing a really interesting style of kick, called the banana kick. So you hold the ball slightly different, kick the middle of the ball, and then it just try and almost swerve out. It's a lovely style of kick.
A lot of movement on the New Zealand line-out. Slade goes high, and it's been won by England. Evitoy comes in, he's getting cold out on the wing, not getting the ball, so now he comes looking for some work and runs into the big boppers. It's cleared out to the left. Mercer, shot put on him from the New Zealand hooker, and now Jacobson gets in there and they try and hold him up. They've got to release. Well, they won't roll away from there, it's impossible. Finally the ball is cleared. It's slow ball though, which means that the line speed is good, and nice shot coming in from Slade. Again, the pods work, forwards working in twos or threes. It goes back again to Malins. Play on, says the ref, and they're going backwards as England. Malins. And now just the pressure from Enor and Ledger forces the error. It's relentless.
It is. It's a big statement when you don't have the ball and you're still applying such pressure. But good play. This is what you need to do more of. Line out steal. Went for the old NBA slap out, which is good to see. And from that you get a little bit of an opportunity, but sadly Malin's trying to find these gaps and looking a bit lost. People around him need to start reacting quicker. Parton there making a rare error, but ultimately still an error. Just looking a bit forlorn at this moment in time, this England team.
Another injury concern here. Sometimes as well, because you're trying so hard, you start making more errors because you're wanting to try and do more for your team. Don't write off this English side. Saw plenty from them during pool play in the semi-finals to say that they have got quality and that they can strike. Just lacking a little bit of confidence at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, the one thing they probably do have is a little bit of belief. The coaching set probably looking down on his team thinking, look, we've been here before, we didn't deserve to win against Australia or South Africa, yet came through both of those games. So belief is a powerful thing as the coaches look on, and Ian Vass probably scratching his head a little bit to think how we're going to get round this power-based game, but it comes from upping your defence. That's your prerequisite, your foundation to this game, and playing against the Baby Blacks is defence, and Steve Bates and Lewis Deacon alongside him will be trying to really G up this performance.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Adams Hale got a good chance to test that shoulder as Inari with a pass that doesn't find the target, but it bounces up nicely for Jordan. Whainganuku got a hat-trick in their first game, wasn't tackled, gets up, leaves the ball. Inari with another lovely pass that there has not found the target as well. So some sloppy passes coming in from the New Zealanders there.
There's a rare bit of inaccuracy there, not just one pass that hit the deck, but two. Quite a rare thing to see from this New Zealand team. And Ari just looking for the speculative pass, and because they have been running so aggressively, the English team aren't willing to press. That could have been an intercept opportunity. And as we see again here, the ball trying to be shifted to the spaces, exactly like you mentioned. Big men running into gaps. Perfetta opting not to dive on that one, as a couple of big boys were looming.
Crouch! Fine!
Here is the New Zealand halfback, Eriatara Inari. Educated in Auckland, is now living in Christchurch. And he has been a real find for this New Zealand team, in my view.
Absolutely everything that comes from this team is largely through him. Is the cement in the bricks, if you like, but his patience and awareness really do bring in the people around him. His skill set's good enough to be able to play wide, play tight, and he's got some pretty good arsenal around him. The likes of Jordan on this blind side, or looking across at Perfetta legend Eno, who we've not really mentioned yet, who is startlingly good.
New Zealand will want to try and make sure that they can get the 5th try before the break. They pride themselves at the set piece and also the execution, so backs are stacked out to the left. Jordan and Whainganuku, you can see there on the right of your screen.
It's between the rock and a hard place there. Which way do you go? You've got Braden Enna, who's known for his line breaks. 17 carries in this tournament. He's made 8 breaks. 1 in 2. He's line breaking.
Fine! Set!
They look to promote the right-hand side of the scrum, but they come out to the left. Perfetta out to Clark. They want to give him some ball. One-on-one. Gets rid of the first defender. Clark goes 7 short. Atkins thankfully is back on his feet. Now the forwards go to work through Walker Leawede. It's slow ball here. Inari has it. Another runner is Jacobson, the captain. Quickly the forwards arrive. Out to the right they come. Mikaele Tu'u holds on to the ball.
Hold wide!
Walker Leawede.
Stay wide, last beat!
Can England keep defending? This onslaught from the New Zealanders in close. Slade.
Behind the line!
Inari looks at the options. They've got numbers out to the left. They want to go there, but in close, another one of the forwards picks. Goes a metre short. Inari. Out and over. They rolled up their sleeves and Amua picks up a double. He gets a brace for the afternoon in the final. The power game is working for the Baby Blacks. Try number 5.
He's an absolute breeze block, isn't he? One-man army. And the physicality's throughout it all, isn't it? If it's not the hooker in the middle, it's the big wingers. I mean, sometimes you just look at the genetics. The physicality is just next level. The go forward gets them in behind, and from there, it's a matter of time, isn't it? It's not if, it's when. The pick and goes all too easy. Inari once more, just shifting across. I mean, fair play, he's got endeavour there. But at no point is the 13 Will Butler going to stop a rolling ball heading toward the try line.
Asafo Amua gets the brace. Support from Dalton Papali'i, and that's been the difference for me. England on the attack on the New Zealand line. One of their forwards knocks it forward. There the New Zealanders were patient, clinical, and they get the result, and Perfetta adds the extras. 33-7. And top sides in world rugby, regardless of what level, always score before and just after the break.
And if they get the field position, they get the possession, they wrap it up.
Possibly the final stage, the ball bounces up. Whainganuku didn't realise it was going to pop in his basket, and he just gets it. Inari goes one wider, and Mikaele Tu'u steps left and then goes forward. Inari looks out to the left where Ledger is. Ledger gets it. And now the kick testing the English defence. Clark goes up and takes it. Everything is turning black here in Georgia. For the New Zealanders on the attack again, they go another wave from the New Zealanders through Papali'i. Inare down the short side. Enor over the advantage line again. This time it's a little wider to Walker Leawere. He's carried the ball at least 10 or 12 times in this opening 40 minutes of play. Jordan is there. Enor out to Clark, who started it by getting it in the air. Clark pushes them off, pops it up. The captain's in. Oh, it's coast to coast. And the floodgates have opened. And Captain Fantastic Luke Jacobson gets a brilliant try, the offload from Caleb Clark.
Jacobson, the leader of this team, and what a team it must be to lead. Every single player is outperforming their opposing number for this Baby Blacks team. We saw a stat in the middle of that phase, about 21 missed tackles, added a couple more onto it. Clark just barreling this English team, and the second killer blow, just all too easy for this Baby Blacks team.
The kick was placed up in the air from Ledger. Clark chased and caught it, and that gave them the momentum again. The attack was unbelievable, in particular the take from Clark. That really was what gave them the momentum.
They've got it all across the park. No matter what part of this game they're attacking by, they're doing it with so much force. It's just a sight to behold.
Perofeta looks to try and make it 40 before the break, and he's done it. Now they are inflicting pain here on the English, and New Zealand, through their captain, right on the stroke of half-time. 6 tries to 1 after 40 minutes of play. It's a point a minute for the Baby Blacks, and as we head to the half-time with a scoreline of 40-7. The World Rugby Under-20 Championships here in Georgia. New Zealand in a commanding position after the first 40 minutes. They lead England by 40 points to 7 as Stephen Perofeta looks to get us underway. A couple of changes to the England team. Walker is on in jersey 16. He replaced Mullison around the 35th minute. Also Odogwu on in jersey 23 has replaced Tom Parton. And the Australian referee says, let's get things underway. 40 minutes to crown the next world champion. And Ebi Toy makes good contact, and that's a nice net gain from the get-go. That's one of the new players on the field too for New Zealand. That's Josh Mackay.
Well, what a clearance kick there. Ibitoy has just put his team right in the mixer, 40 metres away now from New Zealand line. Got to pressure the line out, goes all the way back to set piece for this England team. Need to compete.
So Clark's day is done. He's been replaced by former Christchurch Boys High School Josh Mackay. On the right wing is a Moore. Fine Slade. That's been a good combination for them throughout the tournament. Ball on the inside, getting Mackay a taste of finals footy. Quickly it's released, and Nardik now looks to kick. Mercer is down there patrolling the line. He takes that well in the conditions. Ball over his back. Into the contact goes the English captain, Zach Mercer. Randall looks to return it. Mackay can play wing, can play fullback at first 5, so he takes the ball in Nadi out to Jacobson, who scored the try just before the half-time break, the New Zealand captain. Again, it's running ball. Again, it's out to the right. The two Christchurch Boys High School teammates play a little bit of pass between themselves of Mackay and Jordan. Best mates and flat mates, in fact. Now they go into the contact. There's Lindenmuth. Inadi is there quickly again. Throws it into one of the players. It's offside. and gets the penalty.
Yeah, once again, intelligent play there now. He knows full well that Bayliss there staggering around the ruck, needs to get out of the way, throws the ball at him and earns the penalty, and just shows how cutthroat this All Blacks team are, going for the 3 points when they've got a commanding 33-point lead.
Well, these two sides have met in 4 finals as we look at the good hands here from Perofeta. Ball on the inside to Mackay. They love using their wingers from set play, don't they?
Really clever play, isn't it? Having your wingers floating around the middle. They're the ones with feet. They're the ones with pace and power. Get them involved as much as possible. Some serious shoes to fill for Mackay, having replaced Clark.
Well, New Zealand's only loss in a final was to South Africa in 2012. They've met New Zealand in 2008, 09, 11, 15, and now 2017. No problem with the distance from Perofeta. The radar's not working. New Zealand have scored 6 tries in the first half. As Malins gets us underway again. Well, Ivitoi's been brilliant in that respect. He really has got up there quickly, and he's so athletic for a winger. I mean, his ability to jump in the air.
Yeah, it's what you want from your players in positions like this. His restarts have been phenomenal. Jumping up, just look how high he gets his feet there. And that's what you need. Okay, the scoreline's not great. This New Zealand team are absolutely relentless, but Ivitoi is doing everything in his capability to give his team a chance. And he'll be probably quite happy now that Clark's gone off.
The 19-year-old flyer from the Harlequins club has scored 5 tries here in 2017. Hasn't had too many opportunities. In fact, we had a stat earlier that showed that the total metres by the England team was only around 118. And the penalty goes against their scrum now. I don't think New Zealand will kick for the posts on this occasion. Fascinating stat, isn't it, when we have a look at the metres that were gained.
Yeah, it really just shows how impressive these back 3 players are for New Zealand, and it was that man Clark once more wreaking havoc in that first game, first half. England collectively were 118 metres gained. Clark himself was 110, so it just shows how formidable these players really are.
Again, it's Slade, and the English team have stolen the ball. Good defence. Good breakout there from Walker as well. Just put the ball under his wing and just took off, as did Mercer. Into the midfield. Options left and right, back into the pocket. Pressure coming in from Slade. Malins does well just to keep his forwards going. More importantly, get away from that danger zone, the red zone.
Only just though, sneaking outside the 22, just shows that left foot capability that the Baby Blacks have, just buys a little bit more space. England conversely looking to use Malins on a little bit more of a wider option. Turnover ball, they'll take that. Any opportunity they can get a one-upmanship in the breakdown, that's all important.
The captain goes high and brings it down in New Zealand, who haven't mauled the ball or done the line-out drive, and Aumbua now breaks off. Here goes Aumbua, he's got 2, looking for the hat-trick. Quickly they get there, the ball comes out and Nadi will find somebody. Ledger come running in from the angle, they get it wide, big hit coming in, but Jordan gets the ball up to Mackay, Mackay to the corner, Mackay gets there. 7th try for New Zealand, they will draw level. 7 tries they scored in 2009 against England, 7 tries in the 2010 final against Australia.
No try, please.
As Josh Mackay got it down.
1 second, Josh. Yeah, sure, he's broke off pretty quick there.
Well, Nick Berry wants another look, as I do. It's amateur gymnastics. Mackay had no right to score this try. He gets felled there, Malins. rolls round, keeps a hold of it, wonderful grip as he puts the ball down. That's a special finish. Got no idea where he's going. Centre of gravity round about his nose there, but he puts the ball down in the in goal. What a good finish.
Well, they're best friends and they're flatmates, and it was Jordan that took the hit initially and then gave the ball to Mackay, who has got it down for the 7th try.
Nick,
Yes, mate.
you may award the try.
Thank you. Time back on.
40 becomes
Not yet, not yet.
45. A big smile from Josh Mackay. Now his parents are here, as Will Jordan's. Been here for the 3 weeks. They've enjoyed the hospitality from the Georgian people, and more importantly, they've enjoyed watching their sons play the rugby that they have.
So we see the baby backs. The Blacks getting amongst it. Amora, as he always does, carting it up, asking questions, getting the ball set round. At this point, it's a bit of a gamble. English defence try and shut it down, but wonderful hands coming up. Ledger drops it. Jordan was the magic ball out wide.
The kickoff works this time with Slade. Michele Tu stands strong, gets a support from Papa Lee. Walker Learwood, he thought about picking it up, and Anadi said, leave it for me. Perifeta goes down the middle of the field.
Yeah, good now.
Back there is Atkins, is captain to the left, and Mercer, but Atkins now wants to bring the ball back. Good run from the right winger. Out to the right they come. Malins challenges the line. Good change of angle from Butler, running from outside in, meets Enor. Enor with the tackle. Now some decoy runners, and England now looking to play the ball with a lot more width. That ball bounces up from Mercer. The offload is working well for England here. Malins has it. And the referee says they're coming back for the original knock. Well, he saw a knock on earlier.
That's unfortunate. Flowing rugby from the England team as Butler gets melted there. 13 on 13. With an old-fashioned tackle, good to see, but lovely link play. Malins again throwing deception. And Mercer tries to lob it.
You need me to review it, Johan?
Yes, Nick?
You need me to review that tackle?
Yes, we're ready to roll it. Just a moment.
Concerned here about the tackle. Oh, Lindenmuth takes a bit of a cheap shot there. Ball passed, and he lays the shoulder right into the middle. Oh, that's naughty.
Okay, Johan, I'm in position.
Well, first and foremost, it's just not needed. I mean, look at the scoreline. You don't need to put those types of shots in on his chin.
The two front rowers come together. Adams Hale
Okay, so Johan.
and Lyndon Mirth.
Nick, are you happy?
No, I'm not. What I'm seeing here, let me talk you through what I'm seeing here.
Okay, just hold on. Here's another angle. I just want to see the point of contact.
Look, Johan, this is what I'm seeing. So black one has made late contact with the shoulder on the white player's chest. Thinking a yellow card against black one on the halfway. Are there any other details you can add?
Yes, Nick, the original contact was higher than the chest, so yellow card will be appropriate sanction.
Okay, thank you.
So it's going to be a yellow card for the New
Just give me that
Zealand
mark
loose
there,
head
Johan.
prop. The high tackle. And you're right, didn't need to happen.
I need one black.
The scoreline of
your penalty back there.
On the
45-7.
halfway line, Nick.
New Zealand will play the next 10 minutes with only 14
Okay.
players. We'll listen
So
in.
you've hit the player late. Okay, you've led with the shoulder. It's dangerous. It's yellow card.
Where's the mark, please?
Back over there on the 50.
Well, Lindenmuth bearing the scars from his
Almost
efforts
on the
against the
15
French, where he got
halfway
a little bit of mean treatment, but
There you go.
just unneeded. The discipline this All Blacks team usually show is all about their integrity, and it's a bit of a cheap shot.
Sure.
It's quite interesting also to see Nick Berry go across to the
Hold on,
sideline
hold
like
on, hold on.
NFL finding the
On the
screen,
15.
because it's pretty much a sat-nav in the ground here.
Sure.
Now, this is just what England needed.
Thank you. Yep.
Possession. a numerical advantage, and they really started to play some lovely rugby here. The offloads really working between backs and forwards.
Yeah, the interlinking play is really good to see. The likes of Earl and Mercer in the middle there. Turn up balls, shifting the point of attack. Really good play. But sadly, 48 minutes too late.
They've made some changes as well, so some fresh legs on for the English forward pack, and New Zealand will also make a change. Oncoming in jersey 19, Sam Caird, out of the Hal Tapu club
Why don't need you not walking in?
in Chiefs territory down in Hamilton. Well, Walker didn't walk. He didn't throw the ball at all.
Don't delay the throw. Don't crowd the mark, okay? We're going to have it again.
With the new players coming on the field, obviously, a little bit of a breakdown in communication. Hopefully they know where it's going now. That's better. They quickly get the ball, and try scorer Earl gives it. Lovely line coming from outside in. Papa Lee is there. Perifeta makes the tackle as well. They go the same way. England on the attack, getting some real front foot ball, and that's a great run from Walker. Out to the left again, lovely hands. Ebitoy couldn't control it. Now they kick downfield to the New Zealanders, going back as Malins gets Jordan at the same time. Randall out to the left, Umaga throws it out to Atkins. Atkins is tackled. Walker Leawede out on that right wing. Mercer gets the ball, and the New Zealand captain at the same time, so the two captains collide. Randall, some running ball, lovely pass. Some fancy moves coming in from the English, but they're going backwards. Now they look to go forward through Malin. Papa Lee tries to steal it, can't. Butler, who started it from the line out of running strong and hard at an angle. Again, big defence.
Well, 8 phases now, and this England team have gone back every single phase. They need to win the collisions or opt to kick.
Well, no, they have kicked from Randall, and they've given the ball to Whainga Nuku. Jordan sees some space and tries to dissect between Atkins and Ebitoy, and he might have put too many cornflakes on that one. He has.
Okay.
Just shows come all the way back.
Okay.
Yeah, the rare error from Nick Jordan there. I mean, he's normally pretty accurate with those kicks into the corner, but it shows how aggressive their defence can be. We talked a little bit about defence in the first half, but one way to play positionally is to just kick it in behind the wingers, and didn't quite get the fortunate bounce there, but identifying where the space is. It's a great opportunity now for this English team to try and get a bit of this interplay going.
Well, Randall has played well, but he is now substituted. On comes Alex Mitchell. He scored 3 tries in the tournament, so a good man to bring off the bench. And obviously with the scrum means that New Zealand have to drop a player to bring in the loose head Harrison Allen.
To the left of it. To the left of it.
And Akite Stones can play both sides of the scrum.
So the Baby Backs here opted for 7 men in the scrum, giving opportunity for this England pack to really dominate this hit and wheel it to gain an advantage.
Hold there, 9. Hold there.
Mitchell with his first touch. Gets it out to Malin. Umaga with the pass out to Ebitoy. Takes a difficult pass and then loses the ball in the tackle of Mackay. Mackay goes back and then goes forward. Inari, the kick is charged down. They'll come back for the original knock on. Enterprising, and there certainly was an opportunity there.
There was, wheeled the scrum perfectly, took the back rows out of the game, Malin shifting it. Umaga there just trying to hit Ebitoy with a little bit of space. We've seen what that man is capable of in that 5-metre channel. And you can see how the pass was dipping, meant he had to wait for it, by which time Mackay was there to shut it down and get amongst him. And that is the reaction, and what these England players are really feeling like they're up against it.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Again, it's running ball. Eno didn't control it. Now Butler with some football skills. Ball is there, picked up by Mackay, but it was lost forward first. That's a rare mistake you see coming from a player the calibre of Braden Eno.
Again, haven't seen him much, trying to use him as a playmaker here. First receiver, playing the ball out the back, was looking to try and pick off Jordan out wide, but his hand just slipped off the ball. Exactly that, a rare error. The definition of a quality centre is someone that's just so reliable, of which this man is, and he's got some pretty impressive stats so far in this tournament.
Well, Atkins has moved to fullback for the English. Ebi Toy is such a big threat out on that left-hand wing.
Crouch!
And there's Malins, Umunga and Butler out to the right.
Set!
And again, it's 8 on 7. They can dominate this scrum and manipulate how they want.
Scrum wheels, but they keep it in. Mercer decides to just march forward. They've got the penalty.
Up under pressure.
They tap and go. Mitchell wants to get on with it. New Zealand caught napping. Mitchell scores! His 4th try. What an impact from the bench. And that is just what the doctor ordered.
You've got to love it when players come on, put their hand up and say, pick me. He's done exactly that, gets an opportunity, takes it quick, cuts everyone napping, and what a dummy. Big throw. Perfetta, he buys it as Mitchell strolls under there. What a score from him. Oh, it's Eno, 9 on 9. Moral victory as well.
Well, a former All Black used to call it seismic energy and the change in the game of rugby. And when you've got the energy and things are going your way, the scoreline starts to change as well. And this might just be what England need. They've got the numerical advantage on the field and they're really taking full toll of it.
And they've just got to continue to keep playing. They're down there for a reason. They've got the one-man advantage in the scrum. They've used it wisely. It's given them a penalty and an opportunity. This next phase of play, all important. Keep the momentum going, but have a look at the Baby Blacks here. They are not rushing. Shoelaces, contact lenses, all the tricks are going to come out. They've still got 4 minutes with 1 man less.
They almost walked the whole 50 metres back to halfway. Perfetta gets us started again. Still 4 minutes remain before they will get back to 15 players, and the England want to throw the ball around Ebi Toy on Eno. Can't get around Eno, he's such a good defender. Now they're going for the counter-ruck to the New Zealanders. The ball is there, they've stolen it, and Nadi gets it out to Rakete Stones. They pick and go through the middle, Amua. And he's lost it forward. Now Mitchell looks out, and he had to be offside, surely, Jacobson, unless he's quicker than Usain Bolt.
Well, I took him for the team there. If he didn't stop that ball, it'd have been an absolute full lengther, and that's the type of enterprise the England team need. You're not going to outmuscle the All Blacks here. You've got to try to play with turnover ball. But Eno showing his class again, 13 on his back, probably quite lucky in that situation. His hands were down, it can be penalised, but got the rub of the green. And Emo decided to go route 1 through the middle.
Crouch! Fine! Set!
Like the approach and the attitude of this English team, and they're getting the rewards in the second half. Mitchell wants to tap and go again. Well, he's made some valuable metres as Alex Mitchell, Inari, tried to stop him. Crawls and gets a few more. That goes over the top. Butler has to return, runs around and then breaks through. He's a good player. There's Will Butler. To the left they go, Malins. Here's the voices from his captain out to the left, and that's where the ball goes. Ebi Toy. Another offload. And Kai tries to hold him up, and on that occasion, Mitchell's just lost it forward.
There's a little bit of panic, wasn't it? You could see him in that contact area thinking that some of the men were going to come in and clatter him. Just needed a little bit of composure there. This same time against the French, the tides changed because they began to play and continue to do so, but they had a little bit of patience. You can see his reaction there, just to throw the ball away. A little bit of panic there. There's enough players supporting, secure that ball. Keep playing against this Baby Blacks team, and there is opportunity.
38-3 was the scoreline in 2008, 44-28. And England, who have won this title on 3 occasions, they lost to New Zealand in 2011 by 33-21. And in 2015, that scoreline was 21-16, so it has improved. There's still 23 minutes in this game. If England can score again, that's going to change the landscape. He comes on, Inari clears it. Perifeta out to Eno, they get the ball out to Whainga. Anuku gets rid of the first defender, ball in the right hand, so can't fend off Butler. Butler looks like he may have injured himself as well. Mikale Tu'u goes down Main Street again. Well, that's a kick that's gone just straight up in the air, and Mercer says, I'll help myself to it.
Turnover's good.
Another turnover. Inari on this occasion gets it out to Perifeta. Now here comes Mackay from a long way back. Inside the 22 they go. Players out to the left. Jacobson, nice footwork from the captain. Looks for the offload, then holds on to the ball. Again, it's to the left. Perifeta throws a miracle ball around the corner. And Darren Atkins is there. Now it's falling out. Whainga Nuku tries to keep it alive.
Well, now with a bit of a kick to himself. Zach Mercer rightly grabbing it, and then it gets turned over again. And here we go, you can tell he's been playing with Sonny Bill Williams. Throws it out the back. If he hits the gamble line, Jordan's in there. Perifeta rightly identifying the space, and here's another one for your troubles out the back door.
Time is off.
Lindenmuth
Sure.
can return to the field.
Someone might say he is. Okay, we'll send him on. Okay, 17 off. 7 black off. 3 black. Off you go.
And so changes. Allen comes on.
Okay, you wait for the ball.
He'll go to the front row alongside Lindenmuth.
Yeah. Just take
Also Alex Fidel.
Yeah, we will. Goodbye. Just take it a bit easier.
So Christie comes on for Papa Ali. Normally happens around that 60-minute mark. John Christie,
Let's
another Canterbury Rugby Football Club. He's got pace, size. He's on his way to the try line.
Crouch! Bind!
You just come back on. Just calm down, do your job. There you go.
You've got to love rugby, haven't you? Nick Berry staring up at the absolute man-mount Lindenmuth and just telling him what to do.
Crouch!
Mercer going backwards, but he clears the ball. Malin's done well to pick it up, and he's throwing the dummy. Good run from the English first 5. Quickly, it's recycled. Mercer is there, throws it out to Ebi Toy with some space. Mackay just holds on. Butler is there. And Mitchell. Yeah, where's the replacement hooker? And Walker out the door. He finds the defence coming in from Fidel. Mitchell again looks out to the left. Good run there from Ben Earl.
Roll one.
One off running. Easy to defend against.
All too easy, and that's your other option. A little bit of space behind.
Umaga with the chip, and he retrieves it, then throws the ball. Didn't really go to any hand, and now New Zealand on the attack through Jordan. Jordan with the kick and chase. The bounce. Sits up nicely for Bayless.
Release 6. Hold. No. Get back.
So they get there and they're making the contact and making the gaps, and then the speculative pass is where things have just fallen over, and there's a mistake from Clegg out to Almua. Almua's got 2. Asafa Almua gets a hat-trick! Oh, ha, 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 ha. Hat-trick time for the hooker. And New Zealand hit 50.
And what a way to hit half a century. Almua might as well be playing NFL. He is bundling players left, right and centre, just refusing to go down. He picks it up, not much on, bounces inside a couple, keeps going. Attention coming from all over the place, and he is just a beast. What a score, hat-trick for the hooker.
4 tacklers were left in his wake. That is determination, that is resilience, and that's just the desire to get to the try line.
It's a shame now seeing him hobble off. I wonder if that wasn't the try line, just how far he would have kept on running. Remarkable.
Might have got to Kutaisi. New Zealand have now passed their record of 7 tries in a final. That's their 8th try of the match. 50 plays 12, 18 to play.
What are you doing with your hooker, mate?
And here's the kick and chase.
Yeah, Manga, speculative, finds the space, and in some ways you say fair enough, he was chancing to be support there next to him, but you got to look, it's schoolboy stuff from the man not far out of school, and there again, Umanga just showing physically he cannot compete against these players.
Playing advantage.
Ball lost forward, comes into the hands of Earl. Fidau in the other front row has decided to try and hold him up. I'll come back from the original.
Nah, no advantage, boys.
Lost
Play the
forward
original
from the
knock.
kickoff.
Sure. Okay, send him on. Make the change. No, I don't want to engage. There's your mark. Here you are. There's your mark.
Tough shift there for Umanga as he makes way for Grayson. Father, ex-international, has got a very similar playing style.
Crouch!
62 points is the most scored by any team in the final.
You're not balanced, okay?
And so
You're
New
not balanced,
Zealand
get your head above your hips.
looking
Okay.
to break more
Let's go.
records if they can. England just trying to find a way through this black wall.
And it's not easy, isn't it? Not many cracks in it. They brought a chance here, brought Ibatoy in at first receiver, threatening him. Mercer off the base, the likes of James Grayson really showing his passing game. Carte blanche for someone coming on at this point.
Mercer gets it to Mitchell. He wants to up the tempo of the game. Malins runs into the contact quickly. It's out to Atkins now. Had a player out to his right, but Darren Atkins decides to head towards midfield. Challenging the line was Grayson. First real carry for Dogwu. He's done well to just keep pumping the legs, and now the forwards come to work.
Release black!
Whangaa Nuku in the tackle there with Lyndon Mirth. Mitchell throws a ball, some decoy runners. Passes are sticking now. Good play between backs and forwards, and it's Will Butler into the contact yet again. Mitchell clears it out to Clegg. Clegg goes 6 short. Again, the dummy runners, and Mercer, we saw him score a try against South Africa from a similar position where he broke through tackles. Ball pops out. Still in control. Malins tackled by Anadi. Oh, they're going backwards now.
Backwards.
Now England, they've still got possession. Ibitoy does really well, and Jacobson's stolen it. Wonderful play from the New Zealand captain, and then he just hoofs it down the field and says to the backs, chase it. What play from the New Zealand captain in the 65th minute.
Well, the definition of leadership, leading by actions, not just getting a turnover, but how about the 60-metre clearance? You see Ibatoy going a little bit too far, almost loses support. McCourt-esque turnover, although I don't see Richie McCourt do this. 15 metres infield, puts in a perfectly executed clearance kick, gets the members bounce, and suddenly it's now England 35 metres from their own line.
What a game, what a tournament, and what a time to show World Rugby how good you are. Asa Moore, 3 tries, 10 carries, 83 metres. And 6 defenders he beat, 12 defenders he carried over the line. Mitchell goes back and feed out, chases through to make the tackle. That's the 22 line you can see of England. Just happy to try and work it out. Good defence from New Zealand. Line speed was great on that occasion.
9, let's use it.
Mitchell wants to keep ball in hand and Mercer's just put a foot in touch.
Well, just showing how committed this guy is, aside from the fact that he's getting a bit of ice treatment on his ribs. It's not often you get on the edge of your seat when a hooker gets the ball, but he is so entertaining. Not often taking any other direction other than forward. He is carrying players. Interesting stat about the fact he's only beaten 5. I think he carried about 8 there, but it must not count. What a player. Commitment, effort, everything. He has been a leading light for this Baby Blacks team throughout this tournament.
And there is JP Sauni, actually educated in Melbourne, Australia, before moving to New Zealand. Throw was inaccurate, and so Walker goes and steals it. It's gone backwards from the English players. Josh Bayliss is in jersey 20 now. He's lost it forward. Now Inati spots a gap. Pop pass to Jacobson, the captain. More running ball for Inati. Whangaa Nuku gets it out to the biggest winger in World Rugby and Fidel. What's he doing out on the wing? It's cleared, beautiful line. Sam Kidd gets there. Oh, in between 2 players. I think it's Christie rather. And Tom Christie has gone through a massive gap.
Yes, Nick.
The pass from Inati though.
Yes, Nick.
Yep, just wanted to check, try or no try. Check that grounding, please.
Thank
Was
you.
perfect.
Well, it's a pleasure that they check this one because it's worth seeing again. Christie driving through 2 defenders, can't stop him, such is his determination, but what about the pass from Inari? We said before about throwing the ball into space and getting line runners. That is how you play off scrum halves. Good finish, clear grounding.
Nick,
Yes, mate.
the ball was grounded, so you may award the try.
Thank you. Time back on.
Try number 9 for the Baby Blacks, and impact from the bench again. We spoke about it. They come on and they make an impact. And Tom Christie, that line that he ran, that's what I was talking to you about. New Zealand taught to run at the gap, and Inati found him, and Christie found the try line. Another 2 to the scoreline, 57-12.
But it comes from the turnover. Stealing the ball, scraping it, and Ari getting an opportunity, tries a no-looker, but that's more of his game. As soon as you step out the line as an English defender there, you've got to get the man. Leaving the line creates too much opportunity. Can't get in behind Bayliss, is struggling to get anywhere near him.
That's the reason why he's a 9 for one of the players of the tournament is Will Jordan there, shown his athleticism from the kickoff. He hasn't got up as Jordan, but will stay with play because it's Atkins who runs into the shoulder of Saunu, who steals the ball, and that is Kidd there. That is the big frame of Sam Kidd. The lock, Inati kicks over the top and gives possession away. Easily taken by Malins, who now taps and says to Christie, get out of my way. Throws it out to Ebitoy. And knowing how dangerous he is, and Tamati Tua is on in 22, marking him. Good carry. Again, some decoy runners, and now they find a little bit of space. Odogu. He's got some nice footwork for the winger. Mitchell gets it. More decoy runners, more play in behind the players. Comes into the hands of Josh Caulfield. Now Walker playing halfback. There's just no way through this New Zealand defence. They're keeping their width, they're keeping their shape. Now the kick has been charged down, bounces up. Fidel gets the ball. Alex Fidel, ball on the inside. Walker Leawede. Inside the 22 they go. New Zealand looking for more points. Mikele Tu decides to hold on to the ball on this occasion. Out wide, Jordan. Will Jordan, some steps, then the offload. Lindenmuth. England should get the steal here. They'll get the reward. They had numbers there.
Bayliss doing some seriously good work at the breakdown, but he took a bit of a shot for him. Troubles there. The medic coming on to see if he's all right, but still chasing shadows. Grayson identifying a little bit of space in behind perhaps, but you've got to get past the sizable frame of Fidel first.
And New Zealand chasing their biggest ever win in a final. There's the charge down.
Time off.
And the offloads.
Time's off, White. Just hold him there, Andrea.
Good play there. Commitment shown throughout by this English back row. You need to have that against the baby backs. But it's just unrelenting, isn't it? Their defence is one of their best assets. They haven't been challenged a whole amount in this World Championship so far, but certainly in this game so far, their defence has been outstanding.
6 tries in the first, 3 in the second.
Play the original knock off Black in the tackle.
And then you just see a little bit of frustration there. Some of the players. England just haven't had a chance to get their game going.
They haven't now, and that's absolute compliment to this New Zealand defence. You can see them celebrating already in the dugouts. Big smiles on their faces, and they earn the right because it's been an absolute championship performance from this team.
Crouch! Fine! Not leaning, we just can't get a set.
Oh, come on, bro.
Let's go.
It's a shame it's not quite been the spectacle we probably had hoped. This England team battled through their last pool game and the semi-final, but this has been one challenge too far. What has been an outstanding Baby Blacks performance.
Crouch! Fine! Set!
They say your learnings from some of your biggest defeats, and New Zealand didn't appreciate being knocked out 12 months ago in Manchester. There's England now bringing their wingers in to do some work. Odogwu off the right wing. Quickly it's out. Pass from Grayson. Found the dirt before Atkins was able to pick it up. Now Mitchell gets it. Throws the dummy. And then the lovely ball, the short ball. Now they need some support. Here's the try scorer in the first half, Ben Earl, with a great run. Finally the support arrives. They've got numbers out here to the right. The kick pass is on. If it sits up perfectly, they get it, and he gets the job done. What a try from Josh Bayliss. That is one of the best tries we've seen today. Worth the wait, and showing why they are such a great side.
They're capable of it, we all knew that. Didn't see it enough in this game, but what a couple of actions there, and it's the back rowers, isn't it? Tends to be Earl running as well as any centre that's played in this tournament so far. He gets the inroad, confidence to take on Jordan, pushes him aside, sets up from a slip, and the kick pass fame now in New Zealand. Lovely touch from Grayson. We mentioned him being about a high quality fly half, and he's really injected something into this game. Bayliss hanging out wide. Lovely set, lovely execution. What a score.
Oh, that's as good as you'll see at any level. Heads up play from Grayson, looked across, saw the massive frame of Bayliss out there, pinpoint accuracy with the crossfield kick, and they score their 3rd try.
It's a pleasure to behold the skill of Grayson there, putting it absolutely on the money. He's got about a 3 square metre area that ball needs to bounce in, and he nailed it.
Seven to play. England showing that spirit that we know they have, that they will play to the 80th minute. Thought there'd be a miscommunication there because Mercer was coming across. Grayson takes it. Mitchell Gets it out to some of the big concrete mixers that have just come on. That's Alex Seville. And now Malins. Some decoy runners to Atkins, who's been good for them all day today. Started on the right wing and then moved back to fullback. He's a quality player, as is that man there. Malins with ball in hand. The pass didn't go forward. Mitchell has been good. Grayson. Here's Ebitoy looking for some work coming from the left wing. All the way across the field, and it's gone forward, and New Zealand have possession. Jacobson's lost it forward.
Second one's in my phone.
We're seeing some nice play now from the England team. They get a little bit of consistency. I have to say, Grayson has made a significant impact in this game. Almost a secondary receiver. He's creating a little bit more opportunity for Malins to get hold of this game. And in Ibitoy, they have a man that's not only shortlisted as player of the tournament, but someone who's done a lot of positive things in this game.
Well, I can tell you from a New Zealand perspective, they will be looking to try and break another record. They will be wanting to try and score more points than any other team has in a final. That's their goal for the next 5 minutes, is to try and score a few more 7-pointers. 62 is the record at the moment. Held by New Zealand in the 2010 final against Australia.
All right, I'm happy. You guys happy?
Yeah.
Okay. Time back on.
Let's go here, Ed. Harry, let's go. We like the previous one. Look,
I'd be really impressed. The combination of Grayson and Malins. Perhaps ask a question, if they did start, would it have been different? But Grayson now taking the 4 at 10, leaving Malins to go 12. Both wonderful footballers. Their passing game bring other people into it. And we've seen Malins' touches so far. It's a little bit of deception, just buys half a yard, but in these types of games, they're all important.
Crouch! Burn! Set!
Kimara Hauiti Parapara out of the Tower Club from the capital in New Zealand. Scrum is solid. Mikele Tu'u finally gets his hands on the ball. Immediately they get over the advantage line through Tua. He's lost the ball. So a few unforced errors now starting to occur in the New Zealand game, and Mercer, his father played for the Kiwis, was a wonderful centre and fullback in his time. Now England look to try and show their skills. Nice run from Seville. Mitchell again. Grayson at first, receiver to the try scorer. And Bayliss. Clegg. It's his bulk to the challenge.
Where's the mark?
Thomas Bayliss. And
22 black.
one of the English players is down, so they're playing with 14 at the moment. As again it comes out along the chain. Ebitoy had to step back, but he gets rid of Perafita, and then he goes through, looks for the offload. That ball's gone forward. The blast of the whistle.
Where, midfield?
No advantage here. They'll get the penalty, and thankfully the English player is back on his feet.
Right there.
22 black.
Yeah, leading
22
forearm
black.
to the face.
Well, they've given the penalty and they're going to get on with it. Lovely inside pass to Butler.
Frankie.
Butler makes. Eno just kicks it forward.
Looked a heavy collision there.
Come on.
Did think at the time he needed to flick it, but he wore one pretty low down there. Never nice to see. Head flying next to feet. There's only going to be one winner.
Okay.
Great to see him back on his feet. He's had a tremendous final and a beaten side, and he really has shown how good he is throughout the tournament.
Just one little flick past there, and we were in down that left-hand side. The English players would have flooded down. Atkins been impressive throughout, just wanted that little ball, but got one in the face there.
He's got ankle tap, didn't he? Perafeta just coming across, tapping his ankles as Henry Walker feeds the line out. Won by Fidel, the prop. He gets it back to Sauni. New Zealand through Tua, out to Eno, ball out the back from Jordan, has drifted forward.
Jordan there trying to recreate his fellow
Yeah, sure.
Championship nominee Falcon, but look at that. I mean, that's a good 2 foot
Zach,
not straight as the ball gets thrown across.
You don't have a scrum or a line out.
Jordan tried a Falcon and he failed.
Well, Alex Fidale's not a big man, and to win a line-out, to have a line-out stat alongside his name,
Get balanced. Hold your weight.
he will milk that for all it's worth.
It's more like a quarterback than a hooker.
Crouch! Burn! Set! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mercer comes off the back. Mitchell, he's really made an impact since he's come onto the field. As young Alex Mitchell, more running ball and a good change of angles again from Malins. Running up the shoulder of his captain, that finds the ground. Butler comes across the field looking for some tight forwards, loses it, and now Jacobson goes on the charge. Jacobson! Line is open! Here comes the record breaker! He gets a double! New Zealand score their 10th. And what an exhibition from the class of 2017.
Well, how fitting that that man who speaks so passionately about the combined efforts of their players leads the troops. The turnover in midfield, Butler speculative, running laterally, tries to beat the player inside. Jacobson there, kicking off, not ever accepting the fact he's going to get stopped. Ibatoy tries to get near him. This World Rugby Under-20 Championships is the pathway to professionalism, and they are absolutely setting this tournament alight.
Played with his older brother last year in Manchester where they lost. And there is the coaching crew, the Brains Trust. Willie Rickard's in the middle. Craig Philpott to the right and Corey Brown. What a job they've done. This will break the all-time record.
Thank you, mate.
Not the accuracy we are used to associating with the kicking of a first 5 from New Zealand, but this to break the record. Perifeta does it! The record's broken! And black is the new gold as New Zealand win their 6th title in Georgia. The Baby Blacks of New Zealand are back on top of the world. Disappointment 12 months ago, absolute jubilation. In 2017, a scoreline of 64-17, they claim their 6th title.
Luke Jacobson, job's done. How does it feel?
Yeah, feels amazing. There's been a huge build up to it, not just this week, but the World Cup all since November. Been a lot of work being put into it, and geez, we're really stoked.
As against France in the semi-final, you came out of the block so fast. That seemed to make the crucial difference.
Yeah, there's a lot of chat about the semi-final, and with the score we had at half-time, we really wanted to put the foot on the throat, and we took our learnings from last week. I think we came out and put a good display on the second half.
Second member of the Jacobson family to get your hands on that trophy. Good to follow Mitchell up onto the podium.
Yeah, absolutely awesome, mate. I see his medal at home, and I'm pretty jealous, but now I can add mine to it.
Right, go and get hold of it. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
And the World Rugby Under-20 champions for 2017. John Jeffrey from World Rugby will give it to New Zealand's captain, Luke Jacobson. And it's 6 of the best for the Baby Blacks.